Bridging the Generation podcast. I'm your host, Malak Arif, and today we have another amazing episode. I know you guys see this brother on the screen right here. He is known for being on Def Comedy Jam. You have seen this brother in movies. You have seen this brother on BET as the host of Rap City. This brother has done tremendous work within the community, and he has pivoted so many times in his career. And with all that said, it is an honor to have this brother, the one, the only, Mr. Joe Claire. What's going on, brother?
Malak, first of all, thank you for having me, brother. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for what you do with this podcast, man, and brothers like you who try to make sure that we keep some on our brain and on our minds and hearts. So thanks a lot for having me, brother. I appreciate it. I really do appreciate it. And when you were saying, I'm from this, I was like, who he talking about? I did all those things, and I guess, I really have, man.
Yeah, let's touch on that for a second. Before we even dive in, one thing I love about you, you know what I'm saying, you have been in so many, you have touched on so many different things within your career, and I don't even know where to get started. So with all that said, I want to go back to the beginning, if that's okay with you.
That's easy.
One thing, because I don't feel like a lot of people know your story. So let's take it back. You're originally from Prince George's County. Talk about that a little bit. Like what area of Prince George's County? What school you went to? Talk about that a little bit.
All right, cool. So I'm born and raised in Peppermill Village off of Central Avenue, right behind Central Gardens. Some people say it's Capitol Heights. We say it's Seat Pleasant. When I was a kid, when I was little, when my parents bought the home, it was Seat Pleasant. And over the years, they change. You know how
they rezone,
codes change and all that other stuff. But we Seat Pleasant, and man, I'm still. Matter of fact, I'm in Prince George's County right now. I'm in Bowie. Raising a family right down the street from where I grew up. It's funny you asked. I took my daughter by the old neighborhood. Today, actually, she wasn't feeling good at school, so I went and picked her up, and on the way home had to just roll back through just to see the neighborhood in the springtime. And I went to North Forestville Elementary. I went to Stephen Decatur Middle. It was junior high back then. Stephen Decatur Middle. And for those who know the county, is right over there by the fish market. gotta mention that fish market in Clinton. I went to Crossland High School, and in the 10th grade, my mom felt that it was time to. I have two older brothers, and they had gone on to college, and the neighborhood was undergoing some changes. I was smelling myself, and my friends people I knew I was close to started to get in trouble. So she was like, "It's time for us to move." She was going through a transition herself, so it was all sort of timed at the same time. And I moved from Seat Pleasant to Bright Sea Road.
I know exactly where it is at. Now we talk about the Bright Sea Road, like around the old Landover Mall.
Yeah, but I'm on the Central Avenue side, not on the Palmer Park side.
Okay, all right. Okay. Yeah.
So Centennial Village, across the street from Thomas Pullen. And I graduated from Largo High School. And then I went on to Morgan State University.
Let's back up a little bit. Because one thing we know about you, you're a comedian. You know what I'm saying? You into music. You into a lot of different ventures. But I want to know, what came first? Was it the music or was it, comedy?
So all right. So we got to go all the way back.
Let's go.
I started out as an artist. I graduated from Largo High School and went to Morgan State on a partial art scholarship. I was a painter. I was a drawer. I sculpted a little bit, not chisel, but I could do clay and those kind of things. My creative outlet was what took me out into the world. So in Morgan State, while I was there, I was noticing that a lot of the art students was graduating, and they had this whole, we got to be hungry, starving artists for a little while before we can make it. And I was like, I don't want to starve.
Yeah, I'm trying to get some money.
Now I don't like that starving. So, comedy everybody was like, you should be a comedian. You should be a comedian. And I never really listened to him.
Yeah.
And I had a professor who had me get on stage. Her name was Dr. McKinney. And Dr. McKinney, I was on the yard one day, and I was always loud and you know, I could joan real well, or I could tell stories real well, or whatever. And one day I'm standing on the yard with my frat brothers, and
shout out that frat, man. Shout out that frat.
Everybody know what it is. I got it. Hold up. Shout out the frat.
Shout out that frat.
You already know what it is. Y'all know what's going on.
Yeah.
Shout out to the news. You know.
There you go. There you go.
So I was across the yard, and somebody came and said, Dr. McKinney said you gotta be in her play.
Okay.
She said, I gotta be in her. Yes, you got to be in her play. And she had talked with one of my advisors and everything, and said that I want Joe Claire to be in my play. And she saw something in me that I didn't see at all. And so, you know, I was still in artist mode, and I was throwing parties and things of that nature. And so I got in her play, and it was a serious play. We did Medea, the Greek. It's an old Greek play called Medea. Okay. It's sort of a precursor to. You ever seen that movie Troy?
Yeah, with Brad Pitt.
It's like one of the precursors to that.
Oh, right? Shit. Okay.
And I played King Aegis. And anyway,
was this like a lead character?
Nah, I was a secondary character.
Okay.
In that play, and I barely even remember the play, but it was like it started me on my little path to getting on stage, because from there I joined the skit players. They had the Morgan State skit players.
Okay.
And I joined them, and we would do these little skits doing the talent shows and things like that, and they worked. And then they started asking me to host like the talent show, or host something for the students, or host something for the faculty. I was actually hosting faculty events. And then one of my roommates, I was an RA, and we had an apartment. So my roommate, him and his frat brothers, they alphas. One night we sitting around playing cards, and you know, they dared me to go on stage and like tell jokes. They like, you funny around us. You funny around us, but I bet you can't be funny like for real funny.
Yeah.
And you know, like I said, I'm a newt. If the alphas are coming at me like
that's a challenge.
But it ain't even really a challenge. It's more like y'all need to stay in y'all place. Y'all out.
Okay.
We the nukes. Hold up.
Yeah. I get it.
Nah, it was a challenge because I still respect.
I was about to say, I was like, all right, I'm gonna let you have that one.
I'm a comedian, and I respect those brothers. To shout out to the Divine Nine and everybody. So anyway, but it's three alphas in me, and they challenged me, and so I said bet, and I said, what's the bet?
Okay.
And they bet me a case of beer. I said, bet. You know, in college, case of beer.
Yeah.
That's like a pack of cigarettes in jail.
Hey, that's some currency right there.
That's real currency. And so the Qs were having a gong show.
Okay.
And the
Qs
were
taking it back right there, man. He said a gong show.
A gong show. They actually was gonging people.
Yeah.
And the Qs had a gong show, and I went up on stage and I did my jokes, and they were laughing.
Okay.
And that was the year Prince had came out with the pants with the ass cheeks out.
Yeah.
So for my final finale, I had on a pair of biker shorts.
Go ahead.
Under my jeans. And I dropped my jeans, turned, showed my ass, and ran off the stage. The place erupted. The place went crazy. And,
oh man!
And that's how.
And this was your first show.
If I'm gonna keep it $150, that's how I started as a comedian. And then, you know, other comedy shows would come through the campus.
Okay.
And, you know, I would, you know, try to get in, and people said, man, you should go. That a sister told me I should go work with this guy named Ricky Shackelford down at a club called Gatsby's in Baltimore.
Okay.
And I did on a Friday night. And, you know, you can imagine I'm a college student. I don't know much. I know nightclubs from a college perspective. I don't know nightclubs from a grown people perspective.
Okay.
And so I get up on stage and I do my thing. and my college jokes ain't working as well as grown people jokes.
Yeah. Whole different audience.
And a guy decided to heckle me. And the rest of you, well, you already know what happened after that.
You flamed him?
Oh, I lit him up.
You flamed it. Hey, I was watching this a slept on movie, man. And no one really talks about this, especially in interviews. The movie Axum. I forgot how nice you are when it comes to flaming Bammers, man.
Well, all right. That's directly from the neighborhood I grew up in.
Okay.
It comes directly because my jab wasn't strong.
That jump shot?
My clothes wasn't strong. I didn't have money. I didn't have a car. And growing up in an environment like that, you gotta have something that you gotta have something, or you gonna get taken under.
No doubt.
And so that was the one defense that I did have, was that I could disarm you with something funny real quick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if the girls was watching.
Oh yeah, they go gravitate. Yeah.
No, you funny.
Yeah.
So funny. I mean, your clothes is old, but you funny. So and that's just kind of how that grew. But
no
by no means am I like the guys in my neighborhood. Nah, man, they'll light your. They'll light your ass.
People sleep on guys from PG County, man. But quiet as kept, man. I mean, y'all the comedians that come out of PG County, they rival the comedians that come out of DC. We talk about Martin Lawrence. We talk about yourself. You know what I'm saying? We talk about Pierre. I could go on and on.
Yeah, man. We it's but it's the area. People always ask me, what about our area makes so many comics come out of here as opposed to like other parts, like you can go to Virginia, Norfolk, or you can go. And the thing about it was, I believe that we had the great mix. We were so close to the seat of power, and so even like the regular blue collar guy,
right, knows
politics,
right, yeah,
and power, and
right,
how to break it down. So we here in DC, we don't give into conspiracy theories that easily, because
no doubt. That's a fact.
We see the inner workings
exactly
day in and day out,
up close,
and then we have our uncles, our aunts, our friends' parents, our neighbors
working in the government.
They work in the government. So
everybody got somebody that work for the government.
So when they start with the whole, when 5G is causing COVID, I'm like, man.
Okay. yeah.
Let's John him out, because he on for real, man. You lunches. You know what I mean? And for us, so that bit of common sense mixed with I think the time that we came up in and the opportunities that came, the Def Jams and the comic views. I was 13 or 14 when Eddie Murphy dropped Raw. Okay. And so it showed me where you could go.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's slow down for a second. I just want to ask you, because you mentioned Eddie Murphy. Before you finish your thought, I want to know, like, who were some of the comedians that inspired you, growing up?
All right, so I wasn't inspired by comedians because I didn't. It wasn't my game plan. I was going to paint and draw.
Yeah. Okay.
You feel what I mean? I was going to go and be a great painter or something.
Gotcha.
And so, but when the comedy started working, I was like, okay, that's a good job I can go have.
Yeah.
While I still keep my creative side of my life together.
Okay.
And it married the two. Comedy is expressive for me, but it's not as creative as, at least the style of comedy that I have. It's not like tied into making a painting or drawing a picture or making a track. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm sitting at my joint right now.
Yeah. So do you still draw?
I draw a little bit. I mess around, but my creative outlet is music now. So
okay.
So I'm more so like my energy goes into that. So with comedy, the biggest influences in comedy for me were my older brother. My oldest brother was the funniest person I ever met in my whole life.
Now let's stop for a second, because I did some research on you. Now, is this the brother that's gay?
Yes.
Okay, so talk about that, because one thing about comedy today, I personally feel that it's really PC. And brothers like you, brothers like Eddie Murphy, brothers like Bernie Mac, man, I miss that rawness. So with all that being said, what's your take on comedy, and what was it like to have a gay brother during that time, and to actually talk about him being gay in your routines?
Well, he's my brother. He's all right. So first of all, he's my biggest hero. Like, he's my, you know how you feel about your big brother?
Yeah. Well, I don't have a big brother. Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's 7 years older than me.
Okay.
And my brother came out of the closet when I was like 11 or 12 years old. Okay. And at the time, while it was embarrassing, and I'm still figuring out life. We in Seat Pleasant in the hood. I still felt, this like, good for you, man. Like, if you willing to take all this shit on, he had to take the bullying, the ridicule, the damnation, the margin. He had to take all of that to live his truth. I don't think I know too many people stronger than him. So in a way, while it was, my friends would tease, or people would have something to say, and I would feel a certain way about that, I still would always feel a stronger way about my brother. This, you know what I'm saying? This is my brother. So
no doubt.
So, I had to include him in my jokes. I had to include him in stand-up because of the fact that, and it got misconstrued. Like, I was making fun of my brother. I was making light of the situation. Like, I'm the gay dude's brother. Y'all know what the fuck it feel like in the hood when you the gay dude's brother. Everybody got something to say. And when he came out living his truth, then
we talking this the early 80s, right?
This the early 80s. Nobody. This is a black man. He's 6'4".
Oh shit.
He's 6'4". 1981, he went away to 1980. He went away to Tennessee State. And he came home spring of '81 and was like, "I'm out," and that's what it's gonna be.
That's right. That's
I mean, sitting here today, it's like, whatever. Not
a big deal. Yeah.
But 1980,
fuck.
So but for me, it wasn't about him. It was about me. The girls was like, the guy, even good friends, close friends, was like looking at me like, yeah, we watching him. We watching you too. You want to make sure that you ain't. And I'm like, I know I ain't, but if I was, what y'all gonna turn y'all backs? And I watched my brother's friends turn their backs on him. I watched people who he had known his whole life walk away from him as if he, as he was the same person yesterday.
Right. Yeah.
He was the exact same person yesterday today because he's announcing it to the world. You don't fuck with him.
Right.
So that's more about your character than his.
No doubt.
So and like I said, he the funniest. He the funniest motherfucker ever. So like, his take on people was always, even if you could be the toughest bully, you could be the toughest, you could have some shit to say. The shit that he had to say back, had me on the ground. Have everybody on the ground. Like, everybody on the ground. So when with the stuff with Eddie Murphy and that part, those things didn't bother him.
Right.
At least he never said it to me.
Right.
Those things was never the thing. It was the personal people who tried to make homosexuality some type of character flaw. And he's been more upstanding than a lot of the shit. He's been more upstanding than a ton of motherfuckers I know.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so to this day, to this day, he contracted HIV virus in 1988.
Okay.
Right? And right now, he's the picture of health.
Yeah.
He is, he went through all of that, taking 30 pills a day every day type shit, and all the stuff that comes along with that. And then he had other personal issues that he had to deal with. He had to come through that. Then he had prostate cancer, and he beat that. And then he had a substance abuse problem, and he beat that. And it's some, survive. And now he's now about to become a personal trainer for older people.
That's crazy.
He's 6'4",
yeah,
6-pack.
Yeah, man. You thought that's
gorgeous. No disrespect, but this nigga is walking around gorgeous. And so the ghosts of the past,
right,
are still back then. He left them back then. He went on with his life.
Right.
And so, in that regard, that's my hero, man. That's my guy. And I keep trying to I try to say it to him, and he has a hard time really accepting that.
Right.
I can't, you know what I mean? You the picture, you the poster child for perseverance, for strength, for for making it through. Now, everybody always asks, what you think? You think it was a choice, or you think it was he was born?
Because that's the big thing right now when it comes to, I know you heard the homosexual agenda. A lot of people talk about different stuff like that, especially within the entertainment industry. And you've been a part of the entertainment industry for a while. So what's your whole take on that? I'm not going, this is one of the questions that people want me to ask. So I got to ask.
Like I said, I don't give into conspiracy theories, man. I watched him have to fight for everything he's ever gotten.
Right.
So first, when I was like 22, 23, I asked my dad, I said, do you think it's a choice?
Right.
Do you think he was born this way? And he said, so when he met my mother, my brother was 2. When my dad met my mother, my brother was 2 years old.
Oh, so this a half brother?
Nah, shit. We don't got no, come on, this is a black
it's
a black family, ain't no half.
Right. I get it. I know what you mean.
We got different dads, but shit, you know how black family
Yeah.
Ain't no depth.
You better not say that's your half.
That's my brother. Shit, I had to wear his clothes. That's my brother. You know what I mean? And so my dad raised him. He's 7 years older than me. So my dad's been raised him his whole life.
Right.
And so that's my brother. When I came into the world, he was already here.
He was already here. Yeah.
So if anybody the half, I'm the half. If we gonna keep it a buck,
that's true.
If anybody the half, I'm the half. He was already here. So So I asked my dad. He said, when I met your mother, your brother was 2, and he is exactly who he was when I met him. That's exactly
not at 2 years old.
Huh?
I said not at 2 years old.
At 2, I mean, you see it. We see it all the time. Yeah. We like to try to deny it or nah. Yeah. The boy came out the womb like that. That's what you want to do. And so he has lived his truth. And so for this interview, I'd like to say this. I watched families turn their backs on great people.
Right.
Who, I'll never forget, maybe like it was maybe that first Thanksgiving or first Christmas after my brother had come out the closet.
Okay.
And there are, his friends are spending Thanksgiving with us or spending Christmas with us.
Right.
And so then maybe a year or 2 later, I was like, well, why they always over? Why they don't go to their own Thanksgiving? Or why, his mother don't want him to come home.
Right.
He's like, his parents don't accept him.
Yeah.
His family doesn't accept him. A lot of people who have been thrown out.
Yeah.
And I'm not, I ain't making none of this up. I mean, like straight up and down, family turn their back on them, close the door and kick them out for living their truth. So they would be at our house. They you know what I'm saying? And they be funny to the motherfucker. You hear me? But some of them had issues that they were troubled in other ways that didn't have anything to do with being a homosexual. They was troubled because their parents abandoned them.
Right.
How you gonna feel? You raised me. I've been here this whole time, just like this, and now because I say it, you all of a sudden turn your back on me because you embarrassed about what everybody else is going to say.
Right.
And it still goes on to this day. And it's, you know,
yeah.
On one hand, I'm like, this is the worst thing you can do to your child, and on the other hand, I have to, and he's had to explain to me, it is what it is. People, you can't make people see things your way.
No doubt.
People want to see things the way that they do. And if you can come to terms with that out here in the world, you're gonna be all right. And he has. Right. He's come to terms with how the world works. You can accept him or not. It's not gonna be no sweat. It's not gonna be no sweat off my back. And,
so hold on. Let's get into that. Because you just impersonated him. And and that's the thing. That's the thing I love about comedy. You know, my take is, as long as it's not mean spirited. Now, with that being said, you know, you have a lot of PC police out here, and you're not allowed to do comedy as you once was. You know, so what's your entire take on that? And what do how do you feel about, comedians today?
All right, you can do and say whatever you want. You ever seen that clip with Delroy Lindo, and he's sitting at a news desk and they're having a discussion about saying the N-word, right?
Nah, I haven't seen that.
You gotta see it. And there's a white reporter, and he says, I can't say the N-word, but black guys get to say it in their raps. So, the same old argument.
Yeah.
And Delroy Lindo said, say it. Go ahead, say it. You can say it right now.
Yeah.
I say it with you. Go ahead, I say it with you. Say it right now. Because you can do anything you want. You just got to be ready to live with the consequences.
There you go. Yeah.
So, comedians, cancel culture does and does not exist. What you gonna do? You know what I mean? You gonna let's take the brothers who put up the fist at the Olympics, right? They came back to the U.S. and they couldn't get jobs, and they couldn't.
Right.
They had hard lives. So
they paid a price for that.
Lives and everything else, but they never said that they wouldn't do what they did.
Right.
So you really can't cancel them.
Right. No. Yeah.
And had they had that knowledge, man, I'd have been like, fuck y'all too. You know what I'm saying? Not only did I get y'all the man, fuck y'all, I ran faster than everybody out here. I ran faster than everybody out here. And I put and I'm going back to Detroit. I'm from America, but America ain't tripping. We need black power. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I've been so-called canceled a whole bunch of times. I don't give a fuck.
Nah, Joe Claire has been canceled, because I was about to be my next question. How has that affected you? Because I've seen you, over at Pierre's crib telling your jokes, and I've seen you in concert before, and it seemed like you haven't missed a beat. So talk about that a little bit.
They told me I got a phone call from I don't know if she want me putting her business out there. Anyway, I got a phone call that told me that some folks in Hollywood, in the Hollywood machine, I was up for a job, and the Hollywood machine was like, nah, he can't, no bueno, right? Just some folk, I don't know who it was or whatever. She didn't know who the people were.
Right.
It's just she heard the conversation, and she didn't know who they were in relationship to me.
Gotcha.
But at the time, I was, doing my own radio show here in the nation's capital.
No doubt.
Holding my community down, holding my folks down, not missing a beat, making money, looking pretty.
There you go.
What I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. Let's not forget, Muhammad Ali was one of the most vilified athletes.
People forget about that.
Ever.
And let me add another brother, because we tend to have this revisionist history when it comes to a lot of these historic figures. Muhammad Ali and Malcolm X and Martin Luther King.
Yes.
They wasn't as beloved. A lot of people forget that these guys wasn't as, and the funny thing about it, a lot of our family members that we have today, our aunts, grandmothers, they were the same people that was like, this brother Malcolm X, I don't know why he up there running his mouth, messing shit up for good black folk. Like,
why is Martin Luther King out here doing all this stuff? Leave them people alone.
We just got the right to vote.
He done got them kids hitting the head. Then as soon as Martin Luther King's birthday became a holiday, thank you, Dr. King.
Exactly.
Thank you, Dr. King, you the greatest.
Hey.
I'm gonna put your picture up. So with that said, man, you know, you get this much time on the planet. If by estimation, by all scientific estimation, the world is the planet is something like, they said 14 billion years old, right? Or the 4 billion, but I think it's 14 billion years old. And maybe it's 4, I don't know. But you get 80, you get 70, you get 60, you get 90.
If you're a black man, you get about 60, 65.
Well, my dad got 80.
On average.
My pops got 80. My grandfather got like 94, 95.
Okay.
My grandmother got like 95. My father's mother. Right now my mother is 83. And well, anyway, you get this little bit of time.
Oh man.
If you put it in perspective, if you put it in God's time, your life is
a blink of an eye.
Not even that quick. A blink of an eye go like this. And God, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's, I think that people who realize that and put those kinds of perspectives, universal and universal perspective on their life, they be like, man, whatever you said, ain't nobody think about what you said, man. You can cancel me all you want. I'll go over here and do what the fuck I'm going to do, and that's going to be that. And that's going to be that. Kanye West got canceled, right? And Yeezus is worth $1 billion.
Let's stay here for a second. Let's stay, because that was I want to talk about Kanye. But since you just brought him up, let's stay here. So Kanye got a lot of stuff going on, you know, out here within the media with this the divorce, you know, with his branding of his music, clothing. What's your whole take on Kanye? Have you ever met the brother? You know, how do you feel about him?
All right, so Kanye West gave me a wrong phone number.
Trife.
In maybe 2001, somewhere around there, right?
Okay.
2001. But when he sit down and he makes the music, it was irrefutable. You couldn't refute what he did with his line of thought and the way that he made music. He impacted from Through the Wire on.
Right.
Everything he did impacted our culture, and then the country, and then the world. In you can't refute that, right?
No doubt.
Now, does that make him a guy I want to hang out with? Not necessarily. You gave me the wrong. And where we from, men don't give men the wrong number.
Yeah.
Like,
that's what females do.
Like that. That's when it's out. Nah, man, I don't fuck with you like that.
Yeah.
He gave me the wrong.
That's the super curve right there.
But when we start, we don't curve, niggas. Even we, man, fuck that. I don't fuck with you, Slim.
But hold on, Joe. This is the thing. Within DC, we don't do that. But it seemed like once you leave DC, that's common.
Nah, we don't do that. So,
but go ahead. I ain't. That's a whole nother conversation. Go ahead.
So his, like I have every album. I even got the old mixtapes and stuff. I have, you know, songs that he's done for other people and everything else. And I love. He's got verses that I can spit. Just, you know what I mean.
Got you.
He's got songs that I play regularly.
No doubt.
And that kind of thing. And because I'm a music head, I cannot refute that. And so for me, it's extremely unique. Okay. And it's a great story to tell. You know, Kanye West gave me a wrong phone number. You know what I'm saying? So And that's my take on
it. Now hold up. Is that an exclusive only on the Bridging the Generation podcast? Is that an exclusive? Have you told that before?
Now I just told that story on my man Pierre's podcast.
Oh man, shout out to Pierre. Shout out to homie
2
Pierre.
weeks, like a week ago.
All right.
Pierre's podcast, and he asked me, of course, about Kanye.
Yeah.
And you know, I love what he does. I don't own a pair of Yeezys, but I seen a couple of pairs that's fresh as a motherfucker that I need to go cop. I don't like them slides he came out.
Slides is terrible.
People love
slides. I'm not even hating, but the slides are terrible.
People say they're the most comfortable shoe that they ever
I
had.
don't care if they feel like pillows on your feet. Them shits is ugly as hell, Joe.
Yeah, they are. True indeed. But you know, let me put the other side in.
Go ahead.
You know, he got to knock Kim Kardashian down for years and years and years. And who else knows whoever? And from this man to man, this on some man talk.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? He had some fine ass women on his team.
Man.
And you know, he got them beautiful babies and a family with her. It's sad to see the shit that he's going through, because I hate to see when families get broken up, whoever they are. You know, that's just a personal thing for me, because
but is it really sad though, Joe? Is it really sad?
I think the families. I believe in family wholeheartedly. I'm sitting here in Bowie, Maryland, because of a decision I made to have a family and be a real dad, a hands-on dad, be there for my kids and watch them grow up. A lot of guys in entertainment didn't get to do that because we were chasing the career so much. The
sacrifice, yeah.
We missed a lot, and I didn't want to do that. And so I made some choices that put family first. I'm still really close to my family. Like you just heard me talk about my brother. I have another brother, my brother Mike, who is the shit. I have a younger sister, Adrian, who is better than all of us. You know, my mom,
you mean with the comedy?
No, my sister is an attorney.
Oh, okay.
My sister is last year she got dubbed the #1 energy attorney in the United States of America.
Wow. Shout! You gotta shout her out, man. Shout her out.
Adrian Clay. I shouted her out on Instagram and everywhere else.
Okay.
She practices energy law right here in Northwest. She lives in Northwest.
Okay.
You know, I'm going to see my mom tomorrow morning. I gotta go pick up.
Yeah. How's mom doing? I know
she's battling cancer, but because of, I really do believe, because of, you know, she was we grew up vegetarian in her house. So we talking the 80s. We vegetarian. So all the stuff that everybody do now, we did in the 80s.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So, and I think that really is, and then she wholeheartedly embraced you know, a perspective about life, spirituality, religion, and in what you ingest in those terms,
like a holistic lifestyle.
A holistic lifestyle that didn't turn its back on, you know, or point the finger at traditions, at religious traditions, and she doesn't do that. She doesn't. My mother is the first person to tell me that she's not against anything. She's just for what she is for.
Right. So
I've never heard my mother curse. This is a black woman. I've never heard her curse. I heard her say bullshit one time. Hold on.
Is she from the DC area?
She's from Kansas.
Oh, okay.
She's from Kansas City, Kansas, but she got 8 brothers and sisters, and they can curse. I heard her say the word bullshit one time. I've never heard her say she doesn't judge people. Like when I'm dating women or whatever, she wouldn't judge the woman. She would ask that you know, if I was happy with the choice that I made.
Okay. And
you know, that kind of thing. She would always say stuff like she's not, you know, she's not gonna say I'm against the war. She says I'm for peace. She says I'm for positivity.
Okay.
She doesn't even allow that I don't choose thing to come. And she's like, I just choose this.
And she was always like that even as a kid?
I don't know.
No. When you was a kid, she was like that even you saw that as a kid.
Yeah. She's a different kind of, and it wasn't until, this is my mother. So this is what I know. It wasn't until I got out in the world and and women tricked me out of my money. And women broke my heart.
Because it started to make sense, because one thing I love about you, Joe, you always have a smile on your face, man. You one of these guys from the area. You rep the area, but a lot of people, when they think of DC, they think of the DC area, man. They think of the hardest niggas on the block. They think about the nigga toting the Glock. They think about this. They think about that. And you always was able to be yourself, keep a smile on your face, and you never seem to get too down.
Because the truth is, at the end of the day, let's say I go up against the hardest guy in on the block, and he end up whipping my ass, right?
Yeah.
He still hasn't taken anything away from me, really. Like, I lost the fight.
Yeah.
I lost the fight. I'm still gonna get up tomorrow. I know my God. I know my blessings.
No doubt. No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? I know.
And if you lost, and if you fought back, he didn't take your dignity.
He didn't take my dignity. And who knows? I might whip his ass.
There you go. Live to fight another day.
I might end up knocking you out.
No doubt. Yeah.
But even still, let's say I did knock the nigga. That doesn't make me a better guy.
Yeah.
I know people who can whip ass, and they the most horrible human beings. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Excuse me, let me not say that. They the kind of people I wouldn't want to be around.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So, and then, I try to always keep in perspective what it's really about. At the end of the day, right here on my back, I have my first tattoo, and it's peace, love, happiness.
Gotcha.
Right? I have that on my back because that's what I'm after every day. When I get back to my house and I get to lay my head down and I'm about to go to sleep, am I peaceful? Do I know love? And am I happy? Because after that, you can have all the money in the world and still be miserable.
Man, I know you've seen a lot of people like that within the industry.
I know people like in regular life.
Yeah.
I know people who had everything and are just miserable. They call me. Like, come on, man.
Terrible. So look. I want to back up a little bit because I got so many questions to ask you.
For sure.
Your time is valuable. My time is valuable. I'm loving the interview. But I gotta ask you this. The people want to know this. 1994, you became the host of Rap City. I know you get asked this all the time, but talk about what led to you becoming the new host of Rap City, and what was that phone call like when you received it?
All right, so I had quit my job as a social. So I get out of Morgan State. I start a job as a social worker. Right. I had a degree in psychology, and
you was making that money.
It was cool. I was living on Capitol Hill at the time. I had a bomb ass crib. Shout out to Pickford Place.
Okay.
Pickford Place right off of 8th Street.
I know where that's at.
Yeah, little half street called Pickford Place. And I was doing stand up, and I'm heating up. I'm getting gigs and everything of that nature. And one day, so in the daytime, when you're a new comedian in the daytime, you don't got nothing to do. My days were mine. You feel what I'm saying? I'm sized at this point.
And you don't have no kids around this time either.
No, hell no. My kids are little. Like, this is my son right here. And he's 9. These are my can you see? Yeah. There it is. He's 9. That's my son. Let me see. You can see it. Yeah.
You waited. Yeah.
I waited. My daughter's 12. My son is 9. I'm an old daddy. Anyway, no kids, no wife, and so I'm out here like, okay, now's my time to go and do what the fuck I want to do with my life. So I'm telling jokes at night, and I'm watching TV all day, and Ricky Lake was in her second season. And at the time, Ricky Lake was still trying to do like hard news stories. Yeah. It wasn't baby mama drama yet. It wasn't, you know, all it was some news stuff.
I remember that, Ricky. I'm old enough to remember that, Ricky Lake.
And she had me come on the show and debate with, I called Ricky Lake, 1-800-GO-RICKY. And I got on and I debated with this conservative talk show host named Ken Hamblin, who said that he, you know, anyway. So I got on the Ricky Lake show, and at that time I was a huge club head. I was going to club every night. I got on the Ricky Lake show. A week later, the show comes on. It came on a Wednesday.
Okay.
Thursday night was the big night at the Mirage. Thursday night is
the Mirage. Hold on. Because I remember before it used to be the Chapter. Go ahead. That's too much DC talk. Go ahead.
Thursday night at the Mirage. So I go to the Mirage now. Hey. I had been going to Mirage every Thursday.
Oh man, you taking it back.
Same Thursday, I walk in the club. I walk up in the club and oh my God, hold up a second. Wasn't you on Ricky Lake yesterday? Like, yeah. Oh girl, I told you that was him. I seen you on Ricky Lake. La, 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 and bought me drinks.
Yeah.
I was just standing right here last week. Y'all ain't say shit to me.
Right.
I tried to holler at you last week and you gave me the cold shoulder. And now you give me the warm.
Hold up, Joe. I'm trying to keep my composure, man. This is an interview, man.
Now you ready to give me the warm inner thigh after giving me the cold shoulder. And I was like, So
okay. All right,
okay,
Malak, bring it together.
I was like, if I can get on Ricky Lake, I wonder if I can get on BET.
Okay.
Let me call BET. They in Northeast. I live in Northeast.
Uh-huh.
Let me call BET. So at the time, me and my roommate ain't have a phone in the crib. I had to go up the street to the payphone.
Yeah, y'all was on some caveman shit, man.
Call BET, got this brother named Keith Paschal. Hey, my name is Joe Clay. I'm a comedian. Blah, 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 blah. Please give me a call back. And he ain't called back.
Okay.
The next week, I called again. Hey, my name is Joe Clay. Blah, 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 blah. Please give me a call back. He ain't called back.
Gotcha.
The next week, hey, my name is Joe Clay. Blah, 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 blah. He ain't called back. So, well, 10 months later, and I've been calling this guy for 10 months. 11 months, damn near.
Hey.
Because he hadn't said no, so I was like, maybe there's still a chance. A buddy of mine, a DJ friend of mine, said, "Man, I'm gonna be on Rap City tomorrow." Now he ain't know I had been calling these people. You feel me? Gotcha. I was like, okay, cool. Can I come? Can I roll with you? He was like, yeah. That's why I'm calling you. Boom, 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 boom. Because at this point, Go-Go is me forever. As you can see by the shirt.
There you go.
But,
yeah.
But me and hip hop have a relationship that's special.
Right.
Not that the relationship I have with Go-Go but Go-Go is my first music.
Right.
Hip hop came along like this other girl.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he said, "Yeah, I want you to come with me because I know all the rhymes, I know everything." I said, "Well, where y'all gonna shoot at?" He said, "I don't know." I said, "Tell them they can shoot in my house." And he called me back and said, "Hey man, we'll be at your house the next day." I was like, "All right, God, listen, God. They told me you had a sense of humor, God, but for real though, this how you are, man. Like for real, they gonna come. BET gonna come to my house tomorrow. Come on, God, for real."
Wow.
And the next day, my man, he comes set up. Boom, the producer comes in. He had Chi Ali with him. Not Chi Ali, Chino XL.
Okay.
Chino XL, the rapper, he had them with him. And they came in, and the guy, Alphonse McCullough, goes, yo, you a comedian? I said, yeah. He said, oh, man, I had seen you when you opened for Paul Mooney. I snuck in. I didn't sneak in. I would go to every club, every show, and just beg to get in and get on.
Damn, so you weren't even getting paid?
Nah, hell nah. I just wanted to be on. I just wanted people to see me. And I would always know somebody in the security at the Constitution Hall. I knew the security.
Right.
On the theater, I know the security. I'm at the club every night where they work at. So this night, I get to the door. Paul Mooney's performing. I'm like, can I please get on? Security like, yeah, that nigga funny. Yeah, he's funny. Let him on. And so I go do my time. Anyway, fast forward about another 3 months, and this guy, Alphonse, is at my house. I saw you open for Paul Mooney, thought you were really, really talented, man. You were funny as hell. I just didn't know your name because I wasn't on the show. I wasn't on the call. I wasn't on the promotions, none of that stuff. Anyway, he allowed me to like do a segment while we were at my house shooting Rap City. And he was like, man, not bad. Now, remember, I had been hosting stuff at Morgan State. I had been, it was already, so, you know, all of this is swirling around me. Dr. McKinney done put me on stage and boom, boom, boom. So I'm prepared for this moment and I really didn't realize. They gave me a couple of auditions and, so then I go meet Keith Paschal, or even Keith Paschal came to my house. I can't remember, it's a little foggy. But I meet Keith Paschal and the two of them like, hey, you know the dude who I keep telling you been calling? This him. And then the other guy like, well, remember I told you it was a comedian I was looking for? This him. And that's how Rap City, they gave me a couple of auditions and they told me I would be the co-host with Big Les.
Big Les, yeah.
And I'll never forget, I was sitting in Lydia Cole's office. I was like, you mean, is this like a check? Y'all gonna pay me? They were like, now, initially, I only wanted to be on Rap City one time because my girl had broke up with me. And I was like, I'm gonna show her my
Oh man, I know how that go. Yeah.
You know how it is. I'm gonna show her. Yeah. And I ended up hosting the show for like 4.5, 5 years, man.
Yeah.
5 years.
That was pretty much my entire high school years. So that is close to home to me. You know, like I said, that's when I came to know Joe Clair, you know, came to know and love what you do. And you know, I want to talk about like what are some of your most memorable moments, man. I know you have a lot of them. I was just watching the one with Big Pun, you know, Cameron, but you know, I would love to hear from the mouth of Joe Clair.
Well, all of it was memorable for me because remember I was a fan. I was a guy watching these rappers do what I wanted to do. I could rhyme, you know what I'm saying? I get down, but comedy was paying the bills. And so I was a fan of Cameron because I remember when Cameron him and Mace was in, you know, the Children of the Corn. Right? Yeah. And so I'm a fan of Cameron at this point in time, or Pun, you know what I mean? Because I remember when Fat Joe first came out with FloJo, or go back to, you know, KRS-One changed my life. You know what I mean? KRS-One.
I heard you say that before. Talk about that a little bit.
Because I had never heard anybody talk in that manner. When first his style was sick. First of all, his style was just sick.
Yeah. I don't think KRS get enough credit.
So I go all the way back to, you know, listening to Blowfly, the rapper. This is Blowfly, the master.
Man, people don't. Them album covers. Man, remember them album covers?
Blowfly, and then came, you know, all of the stuff out of New York with, you know, Grandmaster Flash, or even before that, the Funky 4 Plus One More, or you know, you'll hear little records, and then of course, Rapper's Delight comes out, and so then I'm taking hip hop all the way in, and then you know the Houdini years and the LL Cool J years, and then in college, all the Kid and Play and Queen Latifah and all of that is happening, and then I hear KRS-One. My freshman year, I heard KRS-One and Let Us Begin. Yeah. What, where, why, or when. It's really like he was talking. Yeah. Let us begin. What, where, why, or when will all be explained like instructions to a game. See, I'm not insane. In fact, I'm kind of rational. without me asking who was more dramatical, this one or that, the white one or the black.
Yeah, that's that Criminal Minded.
And before that, that's on By Any Means Necessary. Criminal Minded was on the first album.
Okay, my bad. I know that's Criminal Minded, the first album.
Yeah, that's with him and Scholar Rock. So I had heard you know, the girl is free, but the crack costs money. Oh yeah. And why da day.
Hey, go-go bands used to do some of those songs.
Who?
Go-go bands. Certain go-go bands do a lot of
they did
80s hip hop.
Yes, they did. So, you know, but then as I'm evolving in my college years, KRS-One is evolving. And he came out with a song called You Must Learn. And it was Genesis chapter 11, verse 10. Explains the genealogy of Shem. Shem was a black man in Africa. If you repeat this fact, they can't laugh at you. Genesis 14, verse 13, Abraham steps on the scene. Being in the descendant of Shem, which is a fact, means Abraham too was black. And I was
blown away. Yeah.
And so he changed my life. He literally changed my perspective on how I saw me and how I saw us.
Right.
And if you couple that with Chuck D and Public Enemy,
and X-Clan,
yeah, even Ice Cube at the time.
Yeah.
Let's not forget Ice Cube at the time. Then the Poor Righteous Teachers.
And
then all of the things that, you know, the Native Tongues would do.
Jungle Brothers and all those guys.
Jungle Brothers and the Tribe Called Quest.
Eric B and Rakim, can't forget them brothers, the 5%.
Exactly. So you know, it was just like Chris was the one who was up there for me. And so Self-Destruction. You know what I mean? I
got that on vinyl.
Yeah, you do.
The original.
Yeah, you do. So
not a remake.
he helped mold who I became.
No doubt.
And then when I'm doing Rap City, I get to interview KRS-One. The next time I get to interview him, he's dropping another record, and Black Cop. That's when that was out. And I got to freestyle with KRS-One.
Oh shit.
And then at 106 in Park. But not the TV show 106 in Park. There's an actual park.
Right. In New York. Right.
At 106 in Park, where they used to freestyle.
Exactly.
And I'm sitting there with him, and I spit. He was like, "Oh, you could really rap." Nigga almost melted. Like, you know.
Yeah.
You know, one of your heroes is like, "Oh, you really do this." I was like, yeah. And I bumped into him recently, and it was just love. We men now, and you know, I still revere this guy. I don't have the stars in my eyes like I used to, but I still really revere what he's been able to do and who he is and what he means to the culture.
No doubt.
And so I reflected on that while I'm standing there with him, like, man, you did this, Joe. You really fucking did this, man.
No doubt. Well, look, hey, Joe, I want to ask this, man. Like, one thing I love about you, man, you always had this colorful personality. How did you develop that, like, as far as like your interviewing style? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm in that space now. And one thing I love about you, you always had this very distinctiveness with your whole style. So expound on that a little bit.
My style is so take everything I said. My dad was an attorney for the Department of Education.
Okay.
And the weed man.
Yeah. Stop it.
Real true story.
Yeah.
My mom worked at the hospital, and then when they split, she became a writer, a novelist, and a professor of writing at Georgetown, at GW University. Right.
Okay.
Now, my dad, when they split, I was about 4. My pop moved into the city, and I stayed out in Sea Pleasant. So I got going into the city every weekend for my whole life.
Gotcha.
And then being in Sea Pleasant all week for my whole life. Meanwhile, my hood funny than a motherfucker. I got a gay older brother who is like very confident in who he is.
Right.
So I'm like, if he can be confident, I know I can be confident. No, if he could be confident, I should be able to find it in myself to be confident, because he's fighting way more battles than I'm going to have to fight.
No doubt, no doubt.
And so, you know, sitting next to a rapper, what people don't realize is all the rappers' hood is with him. All the gangsters is right there on the other side.
Yeah.
The niggas is sitting right there.
Yeah.
But I'm from a hood, so instead of being shook, fuck y'all niggas.
You was in your element.
Not necessarily in them.
Yeah,
words.
I get. Yeah.
I'm not going.
You was basically in your element.
I'm not going to let you take me out of my element because y'all goons.
Right.
Was I afraid for my life at times? Yeah. Shit, I ain't gonna front. There was times, you know, you can hear the niggas behind you. Man, fuck this, man, let's rob this nigga. And the rapper be like, nah, but I be like, man, y'all niggas ain't gonna rob nobody.
Yeah.
Now they might have been able to rob me, but
nah, we from DC.
Mind,
we ain't let nobody carry us like that. Nah,
you ain't gonna carry me. And so, that's what the style was. The style was, you know, I graduated from college. I'm still very tied into the culture. I see hip hop as an evolution of what we have already been. You know, the blues, the jazz, the whatever you name, the go-go, the whatever. This was just an evolution of the same thing. And I felt like I embodied that. And so when you sit down and talk to me, I'm going to give you credit for getting this far with your rap song. Because this ain't easy.
Yeah.
This ain't easy because I write rhymes. And I'm like, I ain't got no record. And I'm already on TV. They ain't
they
ain't gonna play my record. So if they're gonna play your record, I'm gonna give you as much love as I possibly can. And that's kind of where the interview style came from, man. And if you treat people with some humanity, some respect, you know, you can always get a good interview and a good conversation going.
No doubt. So what do you enjoy more? You know, because a lot of us know you for comedy, we know you for music. You know, you've been in the game, you know, 20 plus years, man. So
all right, let me say this. Going up on stage, back when I used to smoke, going up on stage, like imagine I'm pulling up to the theater or wherever, hopping out my car, putting the blunt out, walking in, pouring a drink, and the guys upstairs or wherever announcing me. Like I'm walking to the stage, just got out my car.
Like a rock star.
And they saying, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Joe Clear. And so that's like this. I wish everybody got a chance to do that because it's like busting a nut. It's like
I got my answer. I guess that's my answer right there.
But when I sit down and I make a track, right?
Yeah.
And I watch people react to it. That's a deeper thing.
Right.
You know, that's a telling jokes on the mic is like busting a nut.
Yeah.
Having somebody like my track is like making love.
But what you think is harder? You know, what you think is harder to is it harder to get somebody to love your beats, or is it harder to get somebody to laugh at your jokes?
The music. We're a lot more critical of music. We're a lot more critical of music.
Okay.
And so now, like last night, I was just reminded by somebody that I have to put my music out. I have to record it. I have to get it out, and I have to get it out like now.
Now talk about that. Because you just, you know, to my knowledge, you haven't been making beats for like, you know, it wasn't like that. Was that something you was doing like 20 years ago, or when? Oh, okay. So
kids,
how did you get involved and started to make beats, and who helped, you know, inspire that?
So I understood music from go-go, from instrumentation, live. You know what I'm saying? I didn't understand music from, sit here like I'm sitting here right now. I'm sitting here right now at my computer. Can you see me?
Yeah.
So I'm sitting at my computer. I don't know if you can hear that.
Yeah, I can hear it.
So, I didn't understand music from that perspective. I understood it from you got to pick up a saxophone and play. You got to play a guitar, and I never learned to play any of that stuff.
Okay.
Kid Capri showed me how to. One day I was on the Def Comedy Jam tour, and I had to spend the night at Kid Capri house one day in his basement. And Kid Capri showed me how to chop up a sample.
Okay.
That was it.
The rest was history.
That was it. It was like I met my new girl. It was like
why you never put out like a compilation project?
So I had a whole band here in DC called the Rickish Mojo. And we made a whole album, and I hated the album, so I shelved it. Right? Then I went to LA. I started putting out music here and there. I really wasn't happy with it though. And I ended up producing for some people. I produced, Mike Epps put out a music project like in 2005, 2006. And if you go find it, it had Scott Storch produced on it.
Okay.
DJ Quick.
Yeah.
Produced, like he got real
producers. Yeah.
Real producers on there.
Yeah.
And I got 3 songs on the album.
Okay.
And I helped him write, the hooks or whatever. And then on the song that he actually made the video for, I am on the hook. It's me voicing the hook. And I had done the track. Then fast forward, I moved to Atlanta and I learned a little bit more about music production. DJ Toom. And then along the way, different people taught me different things. So like my man Def Jeff been a big influence. A lot of people don't know who Def Jeff is. Def Jeff, you'll know him from, he had records, but he also was in the All in the Same Gang video.
Right.
And he went on to produce like the music for That's So Raven. The song on That's So Raven,
okay.
Jeff made that track. Jeff made a ton of the music for BET in the early 2000s and everything. So he became sort of like a guru and a mentor. Diamond D still keeps in touch with me and checks in on me about
That's
making
a legend.
beats.
Legend.
Bink, my man Bink is
Bink, we need to make that interview happen. You already said I got the green light. We need to put that one together, man.
Okay.
That's the homie.
Bink, Bink right now to this day, we go back and forth.
Yeah.
DJ Toom down in Atlanta.
ATL.
My man Mo Digger, who used to be in the Rickish with me, was my first guy because he taught me how to play scales and chords and everything else. And so I still run the music by them. So shout out to all of them. On my 50th birthday, I put out something called New Music for Old Niggas, right? And it was just 5 songs. It was an EP. Yeah. I shot a video for it. You can go look it up if it's, the name of the song is Gone, Gone.
Okay.
If you Google Joe Claire Gone, the video will come up. I did the track and I wrote the rhyme and I'm on the hook.
Got
and
it.
So now right after that, my pop passed. And I kind of just I didn't stop creating, but it was just my life shifted somewhat.
Right.
And then the pandemic hit. And then my mother told me she had cancer, and then the pandemic hit. And so I've been down here creating. I'm sitting here in my basement. I've been down here creating. And now I'm working on Volume 2, New Music for Old Niggas Volume 2. And I'm working with cats around the city. Shout out to my man Jason. Killer Cow. Me and Killer Cow just got together.
I just interviewed Killer Cow a couple of months ago.
So hopefully I'm going to slide him some tracks.
Okay.
We'll make some records together. There's a brother named Chubbs out of DC who I met, who I think is really, really talented.
Okay.
As well as Pinky Killer Corn.
Pink, shout out to Pinky.
All day. Me and Pinky got to make records together. She she really was the person who was in my ear just last night saying, you know, where the fuck is your music? Stop playing.
Hey.
Stop fucking playing. And my man Grindstone, because we go all the way back. Me and Grindstone go way back. And then other MCs, like my man Hakeem Green from Channel Live, who's with KRS-One. He's like, come on with it, man. Where the fuck the music at? I'm trying to make music with like MOP, because those
legends.
They my favorites.
Yeah, legends. Like, that's my workout. I put them on when I'm working out. Ain't
nothing like the Mash Out Posse as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. And then, like, you know, Snoop took a track from me.
Okay, Uncle Snoop
took a track from me. Like I said, Diamond D checking with me from time to time, so you know maybe there's something there. Me and Kid Capri still get it in. So you know I have some outlets, and I'm putting this album together. Okay. And so you know everything happens, as they say, everything happens in its time and for a reason. And you know this is the time, and this is the season that I'm sitting in right now. I know it's ill. You know, people like, well, nigga, you 53. But we always complain about giving our culture away.
Exactly.
We always complain about how much, you know, the people take our shit and misconstrue it or turn it around or whatever.
Culture vultures.
Right. So if we don't maintain the culture, if I don't show my son and my daughter that this is us,
the genesis of this shit, yeah.
This is it. Like my father's jazz collection is right. You can't see it off camera. It's sitting right here. Mm-hmm. And his horn, my father played trumpet. Okay. When he was a young guy, he played for Tennessee State's band, and you know he loved jazz. His trumpet is right there because while the world will trivialize it, they still at the same time they trivialize our ability to be musical and be rhythmic and have an impact on the world. At the same time, they envy it, they consume it, they wish they could do it. They want to know how a motherfucker decided to scratch a record. What made you this? Because no white man has seen the turntable for 8 billion years. Yeah, and no white man ever said, let's turn this into an instrument.
Right. And they don't forget culture appropriation.
Right. At the same time, when we first started scratching the records, they was like, these niggas, look at these black guys, and you know they would, you know, trivialize it and all.
This shit ain't never gonna last. And here we are, almost what we talking, almost 50 years later.
Goddamn right.
Hey.
I heard Blowfly when I was like 7.
Blowfly's rap, remember that?
I heard Curtis Blow. I had to be 8.
Yeah.
Rapper's Delight came out. I was 8 years old.
Yeah.
So, you know, we looking at 40, 50 years of this. It ain't going.
No doubt.
And let's not forget how long. Who said it? The other day I was watching this. It's a clip. It's on my Instagram page, and a guy from Universal was talking about how he made billions.
Oh man, I comment on that. You comment back. But talk about that. That was crazy.
Did you notice he said
that broke my heart?
We had to have. He called it urban music. We had to have the roots of music. What he was saying is he had to have the root, not the pop.
Yes.
Not what it became. He had to get to the root. We the root. The rhythms that we still rapping off of, these African rhythms that's been around for thousands of years.
No doubt.
Go is the direct.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? Personification of modern Afro rhythm.
No doubt, yeah.
Giving all the shit, all through the slave trade and all through the blues era and all through Jim Crow and all through everything else.
Right.
Don't nobody else make that.
Right.
Can't nobody on the planet do that. Listening to Jay-Z rapping that cadence.
Yeah.
Nobody else on the planet do that.
Nah, you ain't lying.
You had to. There's not another Nas.
Yeah.
who just, you know what I'm saying? What up, kid? I know shit is rough doing your bid. When the cops came, you should have slid to my crib. Fuck it, black. Nobody does that. We do that. Then everybody else takes that and do their interpolation of it.
Of course, yeah. I got to jump in.
But let me make this point.
Go ahead.
The ill part about it is how hard Nas hits, how hard Jay-Z hits. You ever heard Chuck Brown live in Japan? They all the way in Japan, and a good evening, or what's happening, or what it is.
Don't know what he's saying, but can repeat every word.
And they don't have anything in their culture that even comes close
to that, exactly.
To that feeling.
That
the thing that ties us into. So for me, it is. I truly believe that comes through us from our connection to God and the universe.
No doubt.
We manifest something that nobody else can do.
That's a fact. Yeah.
They called our music soul
music. Yeah.
Comes from the soul.
Yeah.
This is soul.
Yeah.
It's the soul.
Yeah.
Nobody else on the planet.
Yeah.
Has soul music.
And it's crazy because it permeates throughout a lot of different genres, especially within, the African American community. But
even when they talk to the Rolling Stones, when they talk to the Beatles, they talk to Eric Clapton, they said, well, how did you come up with this? Because I was listening to what the black guys in America were doing.
Yeah, Wilson Pickett, they were listening to them guys, Sam Cooke and all them guys.
I was listening to what the black guys in America were doing, and nobody could come close.
Yeah.
The Rolling Stones named themselves the Rolling Stones because of Muddy Waters.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that.
Said.
Yeah.
You can't, you not finding, there ain't another James Brown nowhere.
Yeah.
Ain't no more Aretha Franklins.
Yeah. That always saddened me though. That always, when I think about that, like it seemed like the culture, the what they call it, culture appropriation. It always saddened me to see how other cultures can do our music, whether it's from Elvis stealing from Chuck Berry. I don't even want to say stealing. I'll just say being influenced, or I'll be more recent. New Edition and New Kids on the Block. I never understood how New Kids on the Block sold more records than New Edition.
You know how they sold more records.
I'm like, come on, man.
You know how. They got the complexion for the connection in that regard. But for me, I always laugh at New Kids. I laughed at Elvis. Shit was funny to me.
Yeah, I mean, even Ice going from Vanilla Ice, he sold more records than Big Daddy Kane and Rakim combined.
But Vanilla Ice, if he go to Big Daddy Kane's show, he gonna sit the fuck down and have a seat and watch.
You goddamn right. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? You ever seen Eminem? You seen Eminem in it with the shirt on and say it goes Reggie, Nas, blah 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 blah.
I'm saying that. Yeah.
Does Eminem know what the fuck it is?
Yeah. Nah, he know what time it is.
Even with Eminem, and who is?
You ever get a chance to interview Eminem? Cause you left in '99.
I got one of his first interviews.
Talk about that. Let's slow down for a second. What was it like when you first heard of this rapper out of Detroit named Eminem? What was your take on him?
It was sick because I had heard. First of all, he used to rhyme from time to time with the Outsiders. Right?
Yeah.
The Outsiders was Rod Digger and my man Young Z.
Yeah, her boyfriend.
He would drop in with the Outsiders from time to time. The Outsiders is actually on the Fuji Score album.
Yes, they are.
And so Eminem used to rap with them. And the thing was, I was like, this person's wordplay is sick. Right. But he was coming on the back of, oddly enough, Chino XL, who I had just finished talking about a minute, who I met at my house. Mm-hmm. Chino XL was outspoken in that regard. And then Eminem came along. But the thing about Eminem was that his flow was so super tight. Was super tight. right? When that first Shady album came out, I said, okay, he's got these outrageous stories he's telling, and he's got all of this, you know, I'm gonna stuff my girlfriend in the trunk type shit. But let me listen to the rhyme and the cadence and where it's coming from.
Right.
And I equated it, and I used to say he had flawless rhymes. But what I didn't hear was what I heard from Jay-Z, which was the soul. What I heard from Chris, which was the soul.
Mm-hmm.
What I heard from Nas, Kanye, and all the other people, the soul.
Right.
So while Eminem is, I'm not taking anything away
technical.
From that.
Yeah, the technicality of it.
I'm not taking anything away from that.
Yeah.
And that's going to sell a bunch of records.
Right.
You notice when he got off the drugs and he made that album, the Recovery album.
Recovery and Relapse. One of them.
Either the Relapse or the Recovery.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody hated that fucking album.
Yeah.
And I listened to it back to back. And I realized that this is when he was getting down to
the soul. Yeah.
And so without stuffing girls in the trunk and everything else, something else had to come out. And so, you know, I equate it to you can go and do our style.
Right.
But if you ain't got it, you ain't got it.
Yeah.
Let me put it to you this way. You can smoke a Marlboro, and it's one thing. But when you get a Newport, that's something else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, you know, even with a lot of the rappers that are out today.
Talk about that. Like, who was Joe Clair listening to in 2022?
I listen to everybody.
Hold on. Because a lot of times people, you know, they look at guys my age. I'm in my 40s. You in your 50s. They try to age us out of hip hop. They try to age us out of hip hop as if we wasn't the guys who, you know, that was supporting this thing from the beginning. So what's your whole take on the old versus the new? You know, when it comes to hearing all these debates all the time.
First of all, I might rap one of these young niggas under the chair. I might rap you out of your rap career. I can spit that new style. I can spit the old style. That's neither here nor there for me.
Okay.
So I listen to everybody.
Right.
And I guess because of how we were brought up and how I was brought up, I know how to shut out a lot of noise. It's not us against them. It's not, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, Drake was on the Blueprint. You know what I'm saying? Blueprint 3, Drake on the Blueprint 3.
Yeah.
Kid Cudi on the Blueprint 3.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Kendrick put Kendrick on the Pimp a Butterfly. Kendrick got George Clinton on his album.
George Clinton, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for me, I don't do the young versus old thing. If you good, you good. If you suck, you suck.
Right. Yeah.
So I listen to everybody.
Yeah.
I think that Kendrick Lamar is the fucking truth. Like,
yeah, he need to drop an album though. He need to stop playing.
If Kendrick Lamar never dropped another thing, he's staying in my tops. I'm not gonna say top 5 or whatever. I'm just gonna say he in the top.
Yeah. I think he earned that. Yeah, I think he earned that.
You know what I'm saying? He's world class.
Yeah. See, we got spoiled. We got spoiled with these rappers nowadays. They drop albums like every 3 months, and I feel like, you know, you kind of oversaturating the market when you do that.
Not if you good. Like if you.
But a lot of you guys make the same record over and over again. Like as Marvin Gaye, Stevie Wonder are my favorite artists of all time out of any genre. Stevie Wonder number 1, Marvin Gaye number 2. But I don't want to hear "Let's Go It On" 12 times a year. You know, don't release "I Want You" 12 times a year.
True. But I think that my favorite is Prince.
Can't argue with that.
And Prince would put out an album every 2 weeks if he could when he was alive.
That came a little bit later though, Joe. Like in the early 80s, I mean the late 70s, 80s, it was like once a
every year Prince had an album.
That's true.
Every year he had an album.
He did have an album. He did. That's
Every
true.
year he had an album.
I see what you mean.
And because the machine was a lot heavier back then, it was a lot harder to get the music out.
Right.
We got 4,000, 5,000 songs sitting in the vault right now.
Yeah. I heard about that.
So,
I heard about that.
So for me, it's the cream is gonna rise to the top. Mm-hmm. And I like the beauty of it for me is I get to turn on Tidal and let it play. Right. And then I might hear a record by Freddie Gibbs that I never heard before.
That's my guy. Shout out to Freddie Gibbs.
A Blue Van Draws, you know what I'm saying? Or a record by what's the dude Keem, that Kendrick rhymed with, or you know,
Baby King.
Baby King, I hear record. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Like these things come up, or you know, these a lot of the female rappers, the sisters who are out here doing their thing. So I'll hear it by, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, boom, that's dope. That's something else. That's something new I get to listen to. Right. And the cats in my generation, I get to turn them on to that or not. You know, a lot of cats in my generation, I ain't fucking with this new music. I'm okay, cool. Then other guys who are still open to things like, oh man, that's dope. I really dig that. Yeah. You know, so you know, that's how I take it. I take it as I'm still alive. I'm still checking out what is new, what is hot, what is good, what resonates with me. Not even what's good, what resonates with me.
No doubt.
And so, you know, that's my take on it.
No doubt. Now, you know, I had to bring that up because, you know, a lot of us also know you from the Joe Claire Morning Show, which is radio, you know. And one thing about radio is you got to see a personality. You got to hear a personality. Right. And nowadays, you know, with the streaming services, do you feel like that kind of take away from radio a little bit? You know, like talk about that a little bit.
I mean, I don't want to say killed it, but it's the evolution. At one point, all you had was radio, and then there was a song that came out said video killed the radio star.
Yeah.
You know,
I know what you're talking about.
So something came out to kill the radio star.
Yeah.
You know, there's still great radio that you can find. There's great podcasts you can find. You know what I mean? And then there's garbage radio that you can find. I don't know which one I was, right?
Now talk about your experience, because you wrapped up. You know, you did 4 years on BET Rap City.
I did 5.
5. Okay, I apologize. I stand corrected. 5 seasons, and then you moved on to radio. So what was that transition like?
I was doing radio before, though. Remember, I was on the Russ Paul Morning Show when Russ first came to Washington, D.C. in 90s.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
But prior to that, me and Big Tigger had the Sunday Night Hip Hop Show with DJ Flex in 95.
Okay.
So, you know, radio is I've always done radio. I worked at Hot 97 in New York. I worked at V103 in Atlanta. You know, so radio was always part of what I did. Like I said, these was me taking jobs, so I could be an artist, really.
Yeah.
So I could still afford to buy.
See, that's what I'm saying. You have been in this in the game so long, and you know, sometimes I forget the timelines get blurred sometimes. Because I remember, now that I think about it, I remember you being on V103 in Atlanta, because I was living in Atlanta around that time. So there's certain things I'm like, damn, I forgot Joe was. Yeah, he was on that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So with that being said, like, how have Joe Claire been able to just pivot? You know, like, where does that come from? Because it takes a lot in this game to still be here and still be relevant.
Gotta eat, man. Fuck that. I gotta eat, and I gotta be happy.
No doubt.
I refuse to not be happy with my life. I refuse. And one of the things that I saw was how much people complained about their jobs. The career that they go and chase down, they would complain about it the whole time.
Yeah.
And I was like, I refuse to do that.
Yeah. They say 80%.
I'm gonna go find things that I like doing. I like doing radio. I like when I was acting in them commercials and shit. I like acting. I like that. It was. They paid me. I was like, they gonna pay me for this shit.
Yeah.
Trade in your breakfast for a Dan and Frusion smoothie. Y'all gonna pay me for that shit? Cool. I love doing stand up, radio. Appearances, or even when I, the work I do with the youth and all that. I love doing those things. That's how I, from what it looks like from the outside, it look like I'm pivoting. I'm just doing things that interest me, that I can do, hopefully well. Yeah. And I like to keep the heat and the lights on.
No doubt.
I like nice shit.
Now, speaking of nice shit, you recently have gotten into real estate. Yeah. And this is something that I'm heavily interested in, especially you've been hearing a lot of these fake gurus and a lot of this different talk from different guys who don't really know what they talk about when it comes to this real estate. But I've been watching you, and you don't just talk it, you walk it. Yeah. So what got you into real estate?
Shit, partner of mine who's done well in real estate was like, look, nigga, one day you're gonna be tired of telling them jokes. And you're gonna want to walk to the mailbox and you're gonna want to own some property. That's what a smart man does to take care of his family and his future.
No doubt.
I was like, okay, I hear you. And when I did that, I thought I was just gonna get into flipping, but I saw an opportunity to impact our community. We watching our neighborhoods get gentrified, torn apart, and moved out, and so on and so forth. And the cycle is a slow one. Yeah. Like people think that gentrification happens over, 3-5 years. Gentrification takes 20 and 30 years.
Yeah. I tell people all the time, this shit was planned. This shit was going on.
A lot of people are blaming Muriel Bowser for gentrification, and I'm like, if you only knew that the plans for these buildings started 25 years ago.
Man, they started after the King riots.
Right.
They knew. They was like, man, we gonna get the city back. We gonna get the city back.
You know what I mean? The plans for that started so long ago.
Yeah.
But Muriel Bowser moved. I'm like, do y'all realize that the Muriel Bowser can't stop billions of dollars?
Yeah.
There's nothing if a developer has put 10 years into being able to break ground on something he's going to make $1 billion off of for him and his family over the next 20 years.
Nothing nobody can do to stop it.
You think that woman's going to be able to stop it? She might be able to hold it up. She might be able to put some caveats in there.
Yeah.
Be able to stop it. It's the same, and that's in every city.
Yeah.
Not just in America.
Yeah.
Hold on. Not just in America. That's globally.
Yeah.
Gentrification is something that happens around the globe. It's a global phenomenon, right? We, with our feet on the ground right here, see that, somebody's grandmother house got turned into a $1 million condo down the street, and we want to blame the people right here. But you don't know that the guy who built that condo, he started the plans and all that shit had to start 5 years ago.
Right. Yeah.
Before she even got in, before any people sitting on the council was even involved.
Hey, hold up, Joe. Let's not forget this. It takes the person that owns that house to sell it too. We don't want to talk about that. We making it seem like.
And so that's the part that I'm interested in, because there are some predatory things that happen.
Well, I want to get into, but go ahead. I want you to talk about that. Go ahead.
There's some things. Let's say this guy wants that piece. Let's say it's me and you.
Okay.
We done put our money together and our plans together, and we see that we can build this building and make money that's going to take care of our family for the rest of our lives. It's going to take care of my life, my children's life, and my grandkids' life.
Let's talk about it. Come on.
Right?
Yeah.
The only thing holding it up is that lady in that house right there. I need that house so that I can knock it down and build some new shit.
Talk about it.
Right?
Let's go.
And I keep sending letters saying, please sell me the house, 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 please sell me the house. And y'all like, nah. Right? Now let's say this me and you talking. At some point, you might you might consider doing something nefarious. You might consider, okay, listen, I can get the nephew who's not paying the taxes to sign this piece of paper. We on our way, because we already took care of all the other stuff with the city, the permits, the feds, and all that other stuff. The one thing holding us up, and all I gotta do is get the nephew to sign it, right? And it's going to net me $5 million. For all the black people listening, how quick would you consider doing something like that? Now, I say that saying, remember we sold crack to each other.
Yeah.
So I seen how quick brothers and sisters turn their back on each other.
Yeah, switch up. Yeah.
We switch our ideals up with the quick factor.
Morals and principles go out the window.
Quick. So for me, I get to be a guy with his feet on the ground who gets to talk to the nephew, who might sell and be like, whoa, before you sell, see if you can buy into this project that they about to build. See if you can get you and your family part of that $5 million.
Yeah, would it get some equity?
Can you? Well, not even the equity, because they're gonna knock this house down, right? But maybe if we, this is what I learned about business. They put their pants on the same as you and I, right?
Right.
They just have some knowledge that we don't have. So if I have that knowledge, maybe I can play ball with them, right? So for me, maybe I'm idealistic, but I'm like, if I can get to the nephew, maybe I can talk the nephew into, listen, I know the developer, I know the lender, I know the permits he had to pull, everything. Instead of you, so they want your house, they need your house to get $5 million. What can you get from him that's of value for you and your family? Maybe you can become part owner of this new condo.
Right.
Maybe you can be part of the what they call, not the economic development team, but the community development team that benefits for you and your family and your kids and their next kids from that one house.
Right.
However, 9 times out of 10, we haven't done we don't have that knowledge. We're not privy to that information.
Right.
And so so I'm that guy. I'm hoping to be that guy to give you some of this knowledge. You might be able to play ball in a different way.
Yeah.
The sad part about it is when I suggest that to people, they look at me like I'm crazy. They still, man, the fuck, man, what? No, okay, nah.
So, I think it's because it's the process. They want shit like this.
Exactly. And we've been conditioned to not go deeper, to not, we tend to stay on the surface levels of most things and feel like everybody's out to trick you. They feel like Joe, you working with them. I don't know these motherfuckers.
Right.
I don't have nothing to do with this deal. You came to me.
Nah, you legit because that's how I reached out to you. I reached out through you through you know what I mean, through the real estate. You know what I'm saying?
So maybe you could save grandma's house.
Yeah.
Or maybe you can do something in that will benefit you and your family in the way that your grandmother and grandfather wanted to do for you and your family. They bought those houses to take care of generations.
Right.
So now that this developer's coming along, maybe you can play ball with the developer to take care of generations. I have a property in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. It's the house that my father grew up in.
Okay.
And my grandfather had purchased it and blah, 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 blah. And I'm sure when he purchased it, he was sitting here saying, we gonna hold on to this for the generations to come. I was down there 2 months ago, standing there like, you know what? Like the ghost of the ancestors is right here. So while it's difficult for me to hold, to maintain the property and so on and so forth, we had a tenant who ain't want to pay the rent and blah, 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 blah. That's difficult.
But you don't just hire like a property manager?
True, we had all that in place, but it still becomes financially difficult. You know, it takes energy to be able to even talk to the property manager. That's still energy. Time out your month, time out your day, your week to make sure that you're doing the right things. But everything for us has been difficult.
That's true.
Could you imagine what it was like for him to be able to buy this motherfucker?
As a black man?
As a black man?
Yeah, yeah.
So now I'm looking to develop it, right? Now there's a development across the street, brand new apartments. And it's another development across the street, some like low level condos, right across the street. So I'm like, oh. So the ancestors have delivered me, because now I have the knowledge that the developers got.
Got you.
I know real estate game. I know the transaction gonna go this way and that way. I have access to funds. I don't got the money myself, but I know how to go find the money.
Right. Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? I know how to put a deal together
to
get this development done and take care of the generations like they said. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I took the time to do that. You should.
I feel like if we was able to do that 50, 100 years ago with like Black Wall Street and, you know, different communities back then, man, we should.
We doing it now.
Yeah. We shouldn't have no problem now with more opportunities.
It still happens right now. Do y'all know right here in Washington, D.C., that some of the biggest developers and developments are young, or not young, but black men? Blue Sky Construction.
Oh, I see that.
You see that everywhere, right?
Yeah, I see that all the time.
That's my man Scotty from 7th and T.
Try.
This is a brother from 7th and T. He might be a year or two in front of me.
Yeah.
So he came through all that same shit like everybody else.
Step and Taylor.
And now he's sitting here building
the
city. Not just grandma's house. He's building the city. And everybody's sitting there saying, oh, these white people come. Nah. Y'all just not paying attention to the game.
Right.
We paying attention to conspiracy theories, getting caught up in our emotions, not being rational, and not getting down to the surface of what the fuck is going on.
Now look. With that being said, because I don't have any pushback on anything that you're saying, but to anybody who want to get into real estate, what would be some of the first steps you would suggest to them?
Go get a license.
You hear about all this financial literacy, and you hear you hear about crypto, you hear about real estate, you hear about this, that, but what you do?
Get a license. I went and got my real estate license at Montgomery Community College. You understand me? It was a 7-week course, 2 nights a week for 4 hours. Boom. Then I had my real estate license. I was a realtor. There was no special sauce. There's no secret nothing.
Right.
Get busy. Stop overthinking it. Get busy.
Right.
Let me ask you this. If I said, hey man, if I wanted to sell weed, what are some of the first things I need to do? You can be like, nigga, you need to go get some weed.
Yeah. Right.
If I want to sell some, if I want to move cocaine, what I got to nigga go get some cocaine, start selling. It's the same with anything else out here on the planet.
I got you.
We can make it more difficult if we like to, but the fundamentals are get busy. My man told me, listen, you want to take care of your family for the future, get into real estate. Yeah. He suggested, before I start trying to flip homes and shit like that, to go get a license. I went and got a license. The rest is history. And I'm not the smartest motherfucker in the world. I graduated from Morgan State with a 2.5 GPA. And I had to bring that up from a goddamn 1.9.
Damn.
It's not
rocket science.
Not at all.
Yeah,
it's common sense mostly.
Yeah. Now, would you say it's easier to, you know, to wholesale or, you know, like flipping? What you think is, you know, because I'm hearing that they're putting some restrictions. I'm hearing lately like they kind of putting some restrictions as far as like wholesaling now.
I've never done a wholesale deal, but I do know guys who have done that and it have been extremely successful. At the same time, I know guys who wholesale right now who are extremely successful, and I know guys who tried to wholesale who are complete failures at it. I know guys who flip and who have been flipping for 20 and 25 years who are extremely successful at it. I know other guys who lost their shirt. And this is through all the regulations and through all the changes and everything else. That's those things really don't have any bearing on what you ultimately are going to do. When I set out to become a comedian,
right,
I set out to become a successful comedian.
Right.
So I'm going to do what it takes to become a successful comedian.
Yeah.
I don't care what the restrictions are.
No doubt.
At one point they were saying, guys who come from Def Comedy Jam can't make it. And then Bernie Mac got a goddamn sitcom. Martin Lewis became one of the biggest movie stars, $20 million a picture.
No
Mike Epps out here killing them. Cat Williams is selling out arenas. Kevin Hart is through the roof.
Yeah.
Even though they still saying that, they still say mainstream comedy and leave urban comedy over here. Meanwhile, Cat Williams make more money than 95, 98, 99% of all the mainstream comedians on the planet. There's the name of comedian right now bigger than Kevin Hart.
None.
Money-wise.
None.
Dave Chappelle, who fucking with him?
None. Nobody. Yeah.
So if anybody who sees this can take away anything, there's a lot of extra shit to get to distract you from what you really need to be on. But everything in life just comes down to the fundamental shit, man. 1 + 1 still equal 2. 2 + 2 still equal 4. If you can do the 1 and 1, I bet you can do the 2 and 2, and you might even be able to do the 4 and 4. The 8 and the 8, the 16 and the 16, the 32 to 30.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm telling you.
Are you part of like a realty group or like? What is your realty group?
I work with a sister named Sher Castillo. I'm on the Sher Castillo team, and we are with the McInerney Associates.
Yeah, plug that.
I'm with McInerney Associates. McInerney is sort of a boutique.
There we go, right there. There we go.
Yep, a boutique, real estate brokerage, and that's what I'm doing right now. But then I still do deals with, I still do seminars and stuff around everywhere. Yeah. I work with guys in different markets: Atlanta, Fort Lauderdale, Cali, Chicago.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, there's no secret sauce. There is some, you know what? Let me take that back. There is some secret sauce, and it's called confidence and belief in self.
Okay. Yeah.
It's called belief in self. And if you believe that you're worthy of the life that you want, you will go and get it.
No doubt.
The only time people don't have the life they want is when they start not believing that they deserve that deep down in their core.
Right.
They feel like, I deserve this funky ass career.
Yeah.
Your subconscious is sitting there telling you, you deserve this funky ass career because you fed that to your subconscious.
Right.
But in the real, if you believe it, you better go get it.
I know that's right.
I'm sitting here in Bowie. The house that I'm in right now that I'm raising my kids in is a renovation.
Yeah.
We renovated this home. Saved myself $1 million and got a bomb ass crib.
What we talking about? 5, 6 bedrooms?
Nah, just 4. It's me, my wife, 2 kids.
Okay.
I got a house. The house that we were living in Atlanta was a 5-bedroom home. Big ass house, right?
Yeah.
But we didn't use all that fucking house.
Yeah. I lived in Atlanta. You get more bang for your buck in Atlanta.
But let me say this. I had a living room and a dining room that I never used.
Yeah. What part of Atlanta was you in? Alpharetta or what?
I went into the dining room on Thanksgiving and Christmas.
What part of Atlanta did you live at?
Southside, Camp Creek.
Oh, shit.
Right off of Butner Road.
I know exactly where that's at.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. How many people right now paying for a basement that they don't use?
Yeah.
It's unfinished.
Yeah.
You just put boxes and shit down there.
Yeah.
That's you paying for that every motherfucking.
Yeah.
Oh, I need a 2-car garage.
Yeah,
A garage ain't nothing but storage for your car that you paying for.
Keep it up with the Joneses. Keeping up with the Joneses, you know. I call a lot of people like that house poor.
And the Joneses sitting there looking at you like these motherfuckers dumb as shit. If they could come over here in this house, they could be like, man, nah, I don't want this shit.
Yeah.
Think about it. How many of us have, guest rooms we never go into?
Yeah.
That we paying for. You gotta, not only did you pay for that, the physical part, you gotta pay for the electricity in that motherfucker year after year after year after year. Let's just say that one room. Let's say the room that you don't use, the living room that you never go sit in, right? Yeah. Let's say you could take the living room out of the house and it's a separate thing, right? And you paying the electricity on that joint every day.
Now people forget about that electricity.
You paying the heat on that joint every day.
Yeah.
You paying the maintenance on that joint every day, and you never use it.
So okay, hold on, time out. So that's my thing. So what do you think about this? Like, my thing is, I want to purchase like some like duplexes. You know what I'm saying? Where I live in one and then I rent out the other one. You know what I'm saying? So what do you feel about, I think that's one of the biggest kept secrets in real estate, especially people who want to just get started. That's one of the things that I'm about to invest in myself.
It's a very smart move. It's a very, very smart move. But the smartest part about that move is the mindset that you had to adopt to get there. It's not necessarily the physical building. The smartest thing is the mindset that you had, because that mindset is going to play out throughout your whole life. You're going to buy, if you sit and say, okay, I'm going to get this duplex, have somebody live in one, and now they paying for me, and I'm making some money. And when you go to the car dealership, you're going to be like, nah, I don't need the top of the line when this one performed just as good.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I had a Range Rover. And one day I was in my Range Rover and I felt dumb than a motherfucker. Cause the light came on to get service.
Yeah.
A lady looked at me in the Range Rover and she didn't do nothing special. Like, look at this nigga in the Range Rover. She was like, yeah, another nigga in the Range Rover.
Exactly.
And I was like, why am I in this Range Rover?
Yeah.
At the same time, I was doing endorsements for Sport Honda of Silver Spring on the radio, and they said, we'll give you a car. We'll give you a Honda Accord if you read, just for reading our commercial.
Man, what?
And I was sitting there trying to keep up with her and look special.
Yeah.
Motherfucking Range Rover. Man, fuck this Range Rover.
That's how I feel like the older I get. The older I get, the more I care about shit like
fuck
that.
This car.
Yeah.
Fuck this guy. Yes, if you catch me now, you'll see me riding around town right now in my Honda Accord, happy as could be.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Plus, with that, but my mindset changed. So I have the Honda Accord. I have properties throughout the country.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Nah, no doubt.
I have a portfolio of real estate. I have businesses that I've started and are coming into fruition to give me some more income, make me more financially sound. And I'm in my Honda Accord.
Yeah. That's what they call that passive income.
And my Honda Accord that I'm driving in America is better than 99% of all the cars on the planet.
Oh yeah, Honda Accord is beneficial. Everybody know that.
But think about it. When you go out the country, when you go to Caribbean, you don't see nobody with a top of the line Honda Accord. They got a Honda Accord.
Yeah.
But that's like you might see one. You're gonna see 1,700 Civics.
But look, you know what the crazy thing we talk about Hondas is like, you go in neighborhoods like Great Falls or what's it called? McLean. And you will see big ass houses, mini mansions and shit. And you will see Honda Accords. You'll see Saturns. But then you go in the hood and you go around, Glenarden and shit, and you see Benzes and you see Porsches and shit, but it's apartments.
That tells you a lot, brother.
That's all I'm saying.
I gotta run, Jack.
It's been a pleasure. Hey, look, before we get up out of here, Joe, what you got going on next, man? You know, I know you got a comedy show coming up. So talk about it a little bit real quick. I know we got to go, but before we get up out of here, I'd love for you to talk about that.
There's a fundraiser I'm doing this weekend, the 25th. I don't know when this is going to air, but the 25th,
next week.
I'm here, and then
Where's it at?
It's for a school. I don't even have the information.
Legend School.
Yeah, Legend School. Yes, thank you.
My girlfriend, her kids go to that school. That's why I know.
Legend's Charter. I have that coming up, and then I'm bringing back the Joe Clay and Friends show I used to do up at Bethesda.
Gotcha.
Blues and Jazz. That's coming back, but I'm doing it in Prince George's County at the Bowie Center for Performing Arts.
Okay.
I'm bringing that back. I got a ton of other things like the music project. I have some television projects in development right now.
No doubt.
I own and operate the Percolator Coffee Company.
Oh yeah. See? Yeah.
There we go. Because it's time for the percolator.
Time for the percolate side of it. All right.
And that's what I got going on. Check me out. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and IG. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube live every morning, 9 a.m.
9 a.m. No doubt. Well, look, Joe, it's been an honor having you on the Bridging the Generation podcast. Thank you, brother. Thank you for all your contributions to the culture. I look forward to seeing more great things from you. And, you got anything to say before we get up out of here?
Yeah, man, just think about your mindset, man.
Yeah.
While you here on the planet, think about your mindset and how you can open yourself up to other possibilities than what you've been handed by people who have a limited mindset.
No doubt. All right, I'm Malak Arif. You're watching the Bridging the Generation podcast. We got the one, the only Joe Cleasy, Joe Clear, signing out. Have a good night. All right.
Thank you, brother.
No doubt.